Okay, so we're fully loaded and ready to go. Here is our magazine with 10 6mm BBs already inserted. A note on this particular gun is that in order to chamber the first round you have to have the safety catch off. If you have the safety catch on, you will not be able to cycle the slide, as you can see. So the safety has to be off initially. Now, once we're ready to go, insert the magazine, make sure it's in firmly, pull back on the slide and release. And we're ready to fire. As you can see, it's a very, very impressive kick for a pistol of this size. We'll do a bit of dry firing now. So there's quite a crack off this pistol. In terms of FPS, I'm just going to load a few more BBs in here so I can show you how it rates with a chronograph. Here is 5 6mm BBs. I'm going to reinsert them into the gun now. Here we have our chronograph ready to go. Let's do the first shot now. You have a very impressive reading there of 326 feet per second. 325. 325 again. 327. And last shot, 326 feet per second. And at the moment it's approximately 18 to 19 degrees. So that's very impressive. If you use 134A gas, you're likely to get a lower reading. So all in all, very impressive pistol to fire. Now moving on to disassembly of the pistol. As with all pistols before disassembly, it's important to ensure that it's completely unloaded. Release the magazine, check the chamber, make sure it's completely clear, and decock it. Now on this pistol you can see there's a disassembly button here on the left side of the frame. You press that in, and whilst at the same time you knock the disassembly lever forward. Now at this stage on most pistols you expect to be able to slide the slide straight off the frame. However, this is not the case with this pistol, unfortunately. So the best way I found to release the slide is to, whilst pressing the button, cock the hammer, rack the slide, pull the trigger, and the slide should slide forwards, no problem. Sometimes it takes a few goes to get to this stage, but you get there eventually. To get any further in this stage, it's important to depress this bar down, and the slide will slide off freely from the frame. It's at this stage that you realise that the majority of the weight of this pistol is actually in the slide, including the blowback section here and the forward section. The frame itself is actually surprisingly light. Now we'll move on to the disassembly of the rest of the top slide. You can actually see there's 2 recoil springs in this pistol compared to other pistols where there's normally 1. To remove it, simply pull it out, and you can then proceed to disassembling the outer barrel and the slide itself, and you can continue with your cleaning. I'll just show you the rest of the inside of the slide. As you can see, it's heavily greased straight out of the factory, while in this section here the inner rails of the slide are actually nicely greased. So the gun should be good for a good few thousand rounds before any re-greasing is required. Now to reinsert the recoil springs back into the pistol, it can be quite tricky. Hopefully I get this properly done the first time round. There are 2 grooves here actually that correspond to the 2 rods here, and it's important that the 2 rods are protruding before attempting to reinsert them. So got it there first time. Both rods are secured in this section here, and on the right section you can see that there's actually 2 more corresponding holes where the rods stick in, and I'm just going to try and secure them in properly. They're still not in properly. That's them there now. Let me just test it there now, and you can see there's no problem there. You then reinstall the slide onto the frame. pop the lever back round, and the gun is now fully reassembled. Insert the magazine, place on safe, and you can place it in storage. Well, to sum up, with Marui's chrome stainless version of their hard click pistol, it's a hard pistol to recommend for skirmishing. I mean, it's a very large pistol. I for one would not like that banging off my leg all day in a leg holster. It's also not very practical for getting out of a holster very quickly, in terms of aiming, etc. You're a lot better off with a smaller, more compact pistol. However, it really is more of a novelty pistol, and that almost makes it sound cheap or unusable, but if you're a collector of pistols, or if you're a fan of any kind of pistol, then this really, it should be on your list. I mean, the sheer size of it, the weight of it, and the realistic trademarks, the quality and the finish are just second to none. The kick is outstanding. It doesn't compare to any other airsoft pistol that's out there. Single-handedly firing the pistol, you can really feel the kick in it. It's got a lovely long stroke with the slide, unlike most pistols. All in all, a fantastic pistol, great quality. The hop-up unit is fantastic, very accurate. It maintains its setting, shot after shot. Your usual Marui quality, and all in all, highly recommended. Go out and buy it.